participated in a variety of team building activities, personal project presentations, college and career sessions, and Spirit House meetings. The day was closed with a school-wide trivia that students competed in for house points. Today, we also had our Chinese New Year presentation that was packed with a large variety of performances, including traditional dances, singing, speaking Chinese, and costume fashion show. Notable parts include our beginning dragon dance and various fan, umbrella, or flag dances. Students had a lot of fun performing, helping outside the lecture hall, and watching in the audience. Our upcoming events include on March 13th, we have a Night of 1,000 Dinners from 6 to 8 p.m. Come join us for a night of performances and cultural dishes served potluck style. Talents include singing, dancing, instruments, performances, and more. All funds will go towards the fight for air time. And we also have on March 18th, our National Chinese Honor Society and Chinese Club will be hosting a multicultural night with funds going towards the 2026 China trip. The event will include a variety of different global cuisines, activities, and informational posters for guests to learn about. Last year, we had a great turnout with many students, families, alumni, and staff joining, and we hope to do the same this year.
Any questions?
You mentioned the Night of 1,000 Dances and that the funds are going to where and what's the cost?
It's around $3 to $5, I think, for entrance, and then we have a bunch of food that will be served like in scoops, and it's for the fight for air time.
Thank you.
Perfect. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak at this time? If you do, come on down. All right, seeing none, we'll transition to the chairman's report before I turn it over to our superintendent. So good evening. I would like to begin by recognizing this month as one of our appreciation, a time where we reflect where the people who make our school community strong every single day. To my fellow board members, thank you for your service, your thoughtful dialogue, and your continued commitment to doing what's best for our students. This work is not easy, but it's meaningful, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And I also want to extend a heartfelt welcome to our families who joined us this evening and who broke bread with us and enjoyed us and entertained us in these conversations. And thank you for coming out. We have been traveling around to different community schools this past 2 years, and this is probably one of the best turnouts we had thus far. So again, thank you for coming out very clearly. And finally, congratulations to our varsity basketball team for winning the Central Connecticut Conference Championship, which they are playing again tonight at the high school. So on our way to the state championship, we're incredibly proud of them for that accomplishment. And again, thank you all for joining us tonight, and I'll turn it over to our superintendent.
Good evening, and again, we definitely appreciate all of you for coming out tonight. And I'm going to get to you in a few minutes. So as we open up every board meeting, there are some core slides that we end up showing to our core beliefs, what we have in terms of our strategic plan goals, the agenda items that we have for this evening. And before I hand it over to Ms. Hewins in a moment, we want to see, as you lead into the superintendent's report, I want us to pause just a moment and remember that every decision we make in this room ultimately touches the life of a child sitting in a classroom, just steps away as we visit the rooms down the hall. Being here reminds us that before budgets, policies, and reports, there are students learning, teachers guiding them, and families placing their trust in us every day. Mayberry represents the heart of our community, and it is important that our decisions remain connected to the classrooms where learning happens. So over the last several weeks, you've heard some things, but we've seen many excellent examples of what makes East Hartford special. So during Read Across America, we had several volunteers, including board members, employees from United Way, RTX, the American Eagle Federal Credit Union. They all spent time in our schools reading with students and reinforcing the importance of literacy. Moments like that may seem simple, but they send a powerful message to children that their learning matters and that their community believes in them. We also saw another powerful example of student leadership when several of our students recently provided testimony at the Legislative Office Building before the Connecticut Education Committee. So they're advocating for strong and sustainable funding for public education. They spoke with pride and urgency about their schools and the opportunities they want for their future. Watching them represent East Hartford was a powerful reminder that our students not only are learning in our schools, they're preparing to lead in our communities. So again, across the district, our work continues with focus through our school data meetings, classroom visits, and other opportunities. So the truth in education is that it rarely happens, the progress we need to have happen really happens overnight. So it's through your support, your effort, our strong partnerships, and our shared belief that every child deserves the opportunity to succeed. And that is exactly what we continue to see across East Hartford. Our educators, our families, our community partners, and this board working together with a common purpose. So being here at Mayberry tonight, it'll provide a little bit more of what we can see about what we do. So I want to introduce the principal of Mayberry, Ms. Angie Hughes.
Good evening, members of East Hartford Board of Education and Superintendent Anderson. On behalf of the Mayberry community, I want to thank you for being here with us tonight and all for your time, dedication, and care you put into supporting the students and families of East Hartford. It truly is an honor to serve as a principal here at Mayberry Elementary. What I love most about this role is having the opportunity to build meaningful relationships with our students, families, and community partners. Those relationships are really the foundation of everything that we do. When students feel known, supported, and valued, they can grow both academically and personally. At Mayberry, we work hard every day to create an environment where students feel safe, challenged, and inspired to learn and to be the best version of themselves. We are proud of the academic growth our students are demonstrating, and that growth reflects the dedication of our teachers, staff, families, and the continued support of this board. Your commitment to providing the resources, guidance, and leadership necessary for our school to succeed makes a real difference in our students' lives. Thank you for your continued partnership and for celebrating Board Appreciation Month here at Mayberry. We are proud to share our school with you tonight, and thank you for all that you do for us and all of our families. So I'm going to invite some friends up to share all the things that we love about Mayberry.
I am Rob Monty. I'm the art teacher here. I've been the art teacher in this school for 17 years, 5 years before that. Emil Kopsa hired me at the middle school, so 22 years now. I want to start by saying I've had the privilege of watching many of my former students grow up into adults and allow me now to teach their kids. It makes me proud to still help them and navigate through life. My first batch of kids is probably like 35 now, so I definitely feel old. I always get a kick out of when they ask me, was I like that when I was in school? And I always respond, absolutely not. I just wanted to say what a pleasure it is to work with my principal, Angie Hewins. She's been a leader for the staff and for all of our students. Our students love her. She loves them right back, and it shows. Every day, if you're in the hallway, her heart is what shows on her sleeve, and the staff also gets behind that as well. As far as me, I want to go the extra mile. She's rejuvenated my career and just given me the will to get here and do the extra for her. To the Board of Education Administration, I just want to thank you guys for giving me the honor of being able to work with her and putting her here as we feel she should be. I'm also proud to work with all my colleagues. If you get to see us in action, my colleagues go above and beyond every single day for these kids and each other. If one of us isn't 100% one day, which never happens, there's always somebody to pick us up. We always pitch in, help each other out. To parents, we do everything to keep your kids safe in this school. Can't even believe it, I have to say that these days, but our first priority is keeping them safe. In this building, there is an adult who is a mentor for every single kid, no matter what their job title. Every adult in this building connects with a kid or kids, students. There's always someone in some place for the students to go to. I'm proud of my students. Some of them are here. Day after day, I see our students learning. I see you guys helping each other out. If someone is having a bad day, there's always somebody else to pitch in, kind of like the teachers and the colleagues as well. We learn from you. Hopefully you're learning from us. The other day I saw a fifth grader stop in the hallway for a kindergartner who was crying on the way to the nurse. That's what Mayberry's about. I see teamwork all the time, and I see our kids being able to be kids as they should. I'm also proud of my families. This is a neighborhood school, and I'm old school where I grew up, where everybody in the neighborhood knows whose kids are whose, how to help pitch in. I see it every day outside at duty. I'm just very proud to be here. So thank you.
So first you can introduce yourself.
Okay. Hello, my name is Leah. I'm in kindergarten. And I'm going to talk about everybody that walks in the hall. What I like about school, what I like about school is, my teachers will be nice to me and my friends. I like to learn. I like to play. And Miss Ladu is very nice to me. And be safe in the hallways. Walk in the hallways. Everybody, thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jose. I am one of the parents. Now the little one is mine, unfortunately. I grew up in East Hartford. I went to East Hartford public schools. My family, a couple of cousins of ours came to this school. My child come to this school. I'm very proud to be a member of the school. The students always, trying to help out, trying to go the extra mile. Recently, before Julio needed some medication, she shared with me her personal experience, not as a teacher, but as a parent. And thanks to her, I was able to, decide whether he needed medication or not. And since he got medicated, it's been a lot better for the teachers. He's actually focusing more in school, he's learning. And all I gotta say is that the school is great. They go above and beyond, from all the staff to everybody, I'm just proud to be a part of it. Thank you, guys. All right.
Hi, my name is Naoa and I'm a fifth grader here at Mayberry School. And something I'm grateful for are the activities I get to do here, such as running club and instruments. I have won 2 medals in running club and I have been able to play the violin for a year and a half.
Hi, everybody. I probably don't even need this. So around Mayberry, I am known as Auntie Nikki. My niece Anaya is a first grader here at Mayberry Elementary School. And to put it bluntly, Mayberry is pretty much a co-parent for me. Right before my niece started kindergarten, we had a tragedy in our family, and it made it just that much harder for her to get ahead. And kindergarten started out as a struggle. She struggled in the beginning of kindergarten, but by the time kindergarten ended, she was so improved. I was so impressed. Her confidence has soared. Just her as a young lady, the way she carries herself, the way that she walks these halls. And I can honestly tell you that if it was not for Mayberry and the staff at Mayberry, I would be lost. My partner and I went from 0 to 2 kids literally overnight. And if you don't have kids and that happens to you, when I tell you it's tough, it's tough. And then you're also dealing with the trauma and just so much internally. And there is not a person at Mayberry that has not stepped up to put a smile on my niece's face or put a smile on my face. They were so open. The communication is always there. I always get a response. I mean, listen, when I drop her off in the morning time, we do our affirmations walking down the path. And she is always there, smiling, just the energy that she exudes. First thing in the morning, I know that my niece is in a great place, and I know that this is where she's going to excel. For me, we commute from Hartford every single day, and my one concern is that once her adoption is finalized, I cannot put this kid through any more change. I need her to stay where she is because this is where she excels. These are the people that support her the most. These are the people that bring her up, that make her feel her own power. I cannot be without Mayberry. When I like I said, co-parent. Every last one of you, I could not do this without you at all. When I pick her up from school, the joy in her face, I know she had a beautiful day, and I know that is because of the care that I left her in. It is this school that is going to make my niece reach her greatest potential. And again, thank you, Mayberry. Thank you, Board of Education, for Mayberry, and thank you, Mayberry.
Thank you very much. So that's a lie. We're always figuring things out, even in real time. So again, we definitely appreciate, being here and hearing from the students of all ages. And I think it's very important for the board to be able to see when I mentioned earlier about when we talk about budgets and policies and those type of things, everything we do, it needs to go back to how is that impacting everyone in each building that we have. And by being here this evening and being able to have our students and our families be front and center, it's a tremendous opportunity to be able to see the work that is taking place on a daily basis. So I want to take the opportunity as superintendent to express my appreciation and applaud the efforts of the principal, the entire staff, and the families, because it is a community truly that's making a difference here. So thank you. So we have other things that we're going to keep doing. So if you do find the time when you need to go, don't feel that you're disrupting us. We're kind of used to those type of things, but we're going to continue in our next part of our meeting. We get into, which is our staff spotlights. And for those of you that this might be new to, so each month we have individuals who are nominated, recommended by either their supervisor or their principals in their building. And we have an opportunity to showcase them here. So thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, who remembers what we did yesterday?
Amy Puebla, 5th grade teacher. Pitkin School. I've actually been in the district 34 years. I have been at Pitkin School for 5 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, remember numbers what we did yesterday.
Amy Puebla, fifth grade teacher, Pitkin School. I've actually been in the district 34 years. I have been at Pitkin School for 5 years. People probably won't believe this, but I really mean this. I have never not wanted to come to work. I love what I do.
She is a gifted teacher. She really is. She builds incredible relationships with her students, with her families. She knows those students inside and out each year. She just has a way of being so in tune to their needs and differentiating all of her instruction.
The whole point of my teaching is to have them think deeply about things, whether it's math, reading, writing, whatever it is. Go deeper.
It was not surprised at all when she came to me and said that she had been selected.
It was basically a 2-week internship type of thing with Yale that took slavery in England and how to teach that hard history. Because it is hard history. So how do you bring it down to a fifth grade level?
Yale then looked through and selected certain classrooms to come and take pictures and videos, and Amy's class was selected. One for her expertise and the way that she supports her students, but also because of the critical thinking that our students have the capacity to do.
Their responses, their thoughtful consideration. Wow. Blown away by what they internalized from it all and how involved they wanted to be in learning more.
Good, thank you. And now we will highlight Megan Spiesman from Guidance Counselor at Synergy High School.
Did you get the stream?
My name is Megan Spiesman. I'm school counselor at Synergy High School. In 2004, I got a position as a school counselor at Hartford High School. And then I moved to Woodland. And about a couple of years ago, I landed at Synergy. It definitely is very student-centered, whether that's being in the classroom, doing advisory lesson on social emotional learning, or having small groups completing college applications, doing enrichment to earn credits back, or individual counseling.
Megan is an amazing school counselor. She's always making sure that she is, meeting frequently with the students, really identifying what is it that they want to do, integrating, of course, the recommendations from teachers, and just kind of bringing in the whole student, picture into those post-secondary pathways.
Before you do the work, you have to get to know people, and you have to create that trusting and safe environment. And that's what we do here at Synergy. We're able to support students to their goal of a diploma and a plan afterwards.
Most recently, we ended up having our first CT State application day, so that's completion of 20 applications. On top of that, she is actively working on the free application for federal student aid for FAFSA students. And on that, we set ambitious goals every year of 75%, and she's been able to consistently meet that 75%.
I just feel really grateful to be able to be trusted by students and families. I'm glad that we have a real kind of tight-knit community that we're able to give that individualized support, but also make a difference.
Thank you. So again, each month we're able to do this, being able to take you into the buildings and being able to see and hear why some of our staff are recognized the way they are. So I also want to take an opportunity as it's School Board Recognition Month and also being able to share, the appreciation for the Board of Education members, for each of them that are here tonight and for, of course, those that aren't here this evening. But just a reminder that, for their continued support and service, but as a reminder that the school board position is a volunteer commitment. So it requires a significant amount of time, thoughtful decision-making, and deep belief in the value of public education. So the dedication you bring as board members collectively in supporting our schools and the students and families of East Hartford is deeply appreciated and truly makes a difference to everything that we do. So again, thank you for your support on all levels. Thank you. Also, we recognize Women's History Month, and these are opportunities for us to dive in a little bit deeper on things and making sure we talk about being inclusive and sharing stories and making sure that that level of appreciation goes without saying. And we haven't gotten to a point, obviously, in our society where we don't need to highlight different groups. So we're going to continue to do that as we continue to push forward and make sure that everyone receives the recognition for the work that they're doing to support the community as a whole. So the next few slides, I'm not going to go through them all individually. I'm just going to skip through because we've been going through the budget process for many months at this point. And we presented at the town council on February 26th. And the ask is the 1.9% and the $1.9 million increase, which again, just to touch on, covers the cost for us to maintain what we have. So it's not really a budget that's going to allow us to expand tremendously, but we're being very fiscally responsible and understanding the various needs that exist across the board with all the town agencies. So again, we put all the information out previously. The council will be voting on it within the next couple of months. We're also participating in a lot of discussions at the state level because there's an impact on communities like East Hartford and communities in all towns and cities to begin with. But there are certain things that we're pushing for to ensure that we receive a little bit of additional funding as time goes on for this part of the year. So again, a lot of the information has already been put out. I put this in the slide deck so it can stand on its own, so when individuals are able to look at it later, they can get a better picture. And if there are any questions, you can always feel free to reach out to my office. You can email. To me, it's something that's extremely important. We want to make sure that everyone has their questions and their questions and get the answers that they need to make sure you're fully aware of how we're taking care of the budget. Now I want to invite up Anna Capobianco. Anna has a long title, so I'll let Anna say that to you.
Thank you. All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Anna Capobianco, and I'm the supervisor of professional learning and evaluation at East Hartford Public Schools. The purpose of this brief presentation is to provide a professional learning progress update and strategic outlook on how East Hartford Public Schools is evolving to meet the specific needs of our educators and students. So I'll be highlighting two critical shifts in our district's approach. First, our move towards personalized growth through our innovative pathway system, and then secondly, our strategic AI integration roadmap. So ultimately, these investments in professional learning directly support our East Hartford Public Schools strategic plan, which emphasizes our commitment to cultivating a highly skilled and engaged workforce to improve our student outcomes across the entire district. Okay, so before diving into the specifics of our professional learning topics and approaches, I would like to highlight our newly revised tenets of professional learning. So our professional learning in East Hartford Public Schools is not just a series of workshops. It's a strategic, research-based framework designed to directly impact our educator effectiveness. So we operate under 4 core tenets, which you can see on the slide deck here. First is our commitment to excellence. So all of our professional learning is data-driven and rooted in proven research. We also emphasize reflection and innovation by fostering a continuous improvement cycle that really embeds reflection and data gathering into our pre-K-12 programs. We also emphasize the importance of understanding adult learning in our professional learning systems. We recognize that educators have unique learning needs, so our formats are tailored to be immediately applicable to educators' daily work. And lastly, but certainly not least, we believe that learning is a collective effort, and it's supported by flexible grouping and job-embedded outcomes. So thus, the first critical approach in our professional learning that I would like to highlight is our newly implemented personalized pathway model. So the personalized pathway model is an innovative professional learning model We are one of the only districts in the state at this time that are effectively implementing this type of model. And it is also our primary vehicle for achieving our strategic initiative 4.3, which emphasizes our personalized professional learning in alignment with the educator evaluation plans. So in our personalized pathway model, educators engage in professional learning that aligns with the goal that they established via the educator evaluation system, which is also only 2 years old. So we're still piloting that evaluation system in partnership with the State Department of Education. So during 4 of our professional learning early release days, educators select professional learning topics, activities, and sessions that are meaningful to them and that align with their unique individual goal. In order to support the diverse needs of our educators, as well as to meet several of our district strategic initiatives, we offer many district-wide sessions that educators may choose to attend. So this slide here outlines the opportunities that we have offered just throughout this year so far. And as you can see, there are a variety of topics and approaches, and all of these align with the diverse needs of our students and staff. So we've offered sessions on advanced technologies such as AI Gemini and Notebook LM. We've also offered sessions tailored to student support, such as emotional and behavioral regulation. Our instructional equity remains a focus through culturally responsive teaching practices and sessions that embed strategies to support our English learners. And then we also offer sessions for operational proficiency. So we realize that educators are using a variety of tools, such as Parent Square and our ViewSonic interactive boards, and that we have educators with varying competencies using these tools. So all of these sessions are optional. Educators can choose to engage in professional learning on their own, that they select, really by their own choosing. But what's been most encouraging about the implementation of this new model is the response from our staff. So even though teachers could choose their own PD and they could choose to stay in their classroom and work for 2 hours on whatever most benefits them, our recent district enrollment data has shown that over 80% of our educators have chose to attend at least one district session. So this confirms that our pathways are not just compliant with our goals, but deeply relevant to our teachers' daily work. Okay, next I'm going to pivot slightly and focus our professional learning on outlining our East Hartford Public School strategic AI integration and training for staff. So this has been a district-wide initiative for all of our pre-K-12 educators to ensure that our educators and students are prepared for an AI accessible landscape. We are following a multi-year equity-centered plan to build AI capacity. This plan was developed following our learning and insights from our AI pilot program, which we partnered with the State Department of Education. You may recall that East Hartford Public Schools was one of 7 districts throughout the state last year who were selected to participate and were endowed with quite a generous grant that we were able to utilize to purchase AI-based tools as well as professional learning for our staff. That grant funding did flow into this year, which is how we were able to fund much of this work so far. Following the feedback from last year's secondary educator pilot, which used Magic School, which is an AI tool we'll talk about a little bit more in a moment, we mapped out 5 critical steps for professional learning for this year. So first, because the district had purchased licenses for the Magic School platform, again, which is a pre-K-12, both student and educator-focused AI tool that embeds a variety of different features that can be utilized by any staff member or educator or student. We started with Magic School fundamentals. So this step really focused on not just foundational principles of using AI in the classroom, as well as responsible use for the practical applications, but also on very usable teacher approaches like differentiated lessons for building customized teacher tools that could be utilized for all pre-K-12 educators. Once we had embedded those educator-focused tools in our professional learning and in our educator capacities, we moved on to Magic Student, which is the student-facing side of the Magic School platform. This stage provided specific training for our secondary educators on how to effectively manage and utilize AI tools directly with students in the classroom. Again, this is at the secondary level, so 6 through 12. So all students in East Hartford Public Schools have a Magic Student license and are using the Magic School tools with their teachers in the classroom. Our third step in this plan prioritized AI responsibility. So we provided secondary level educators with a comprehensive overview of AI fundamentals, along with our district sanctioned ethical guidelines to integrate these directly in their instruction. And secondary educators took the content from these professional learning sessions and then turnkeyed these in their classroom to prepare the students to be ethical consumers of AI and the respective technology. Following that, we broadened our perspective by partnering with EdAdvance for a district-wide keynote designed to provide our entire staff with information about the shifts in classroom AI use and the future labor market that are clearly impacted by AI, not just in the classroom, but obviously in the world, our global industries, in our professional pathways and careers. And then finally, and as recently as today, it was a professional learning afternoon, we're focusing on academic integrity connected to AI use. So in this step, we're providing actionable strategies for educators to design what's called AI durable assignments. Basically, these are tasks that prioritize critical thinking, authentic process, and human-centered assessment to ensure meaningful learning continues in what we understand as a highly utilized AI landscape. So looking ahead to 2026 to 2027, we will continue our focus on embedding personalized pathway professional learning for all of our educators and focusing on our AI strategic plan. Our focus for the AI work and professional learning will shift from some of those basic core competencies that we've focused on this year and towards a more deeply embedded focus on taking the ISTE standards, which are the National Technology Standards for AI use, and embedding those along with an AI literacy and digital wellness plan into our curriculum and professional learning in order to emphasize and promote our daily healthy digital habits. So overall, this roadmap that we've been focusing on, especially our emphasis on AI, has really ensured that East Hartford Public Schools remains at the forefront of innovation while keeping our student well-being and equity at the center of our work. I'm on a number of AI committees and consortiums across the state, and I can say with confidence that right now East Hartford is doing this the best of anywhere that I've seen. So we're in a really good place. We have a lot of work to do moving forward, but our students are being prepared, our educators are prepared to embrace what we know is a rapidly changing landscape, and our educators are here to do the work and make sure that our students are comfortable as they emerge in a very diverse workforce because of technology. Are there any questions?
Questions? Thank you for that presentation.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ms. Capabianco. So as you can see, there's a lot, but I think the key as far as what was shared at the end was that we are on the forefront. There are things that our team is definitely doing, and we will continue to do as we move forward. So I'm going to ask Mr. Brown, our IT director, to come up, and he's going to go through some things with us. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So
we've been waiting for this presentation. Come on,
popular man, duck a little bit to speak in this. I want you to be able to hear me. So I wanted to tell you all, this is pretty much the work we've done since I arrived in June of last year. If some of you will remember, I did a 90-day plan and I shared that with you. So some of this ties into that work and where we are now. So, as you all know, the core beliefs, and I want to remind everyone, our work is to support teaching and learning. Without students, without teachers, we would not be here. Without those things, we have no purpose of being here. Our purpose is supporting that instructional technology, instruction, and curriculum. So, those are our goals. So, the purpose of this update is to give you an update to where we've been, like I said before. And one of the things we did early is ensuring operational stability and reliability, strengthening cybersecurity and data protection, and establishing structured multi-tier technology roadmap. And we want to make sure we have a roadmap to move forward. So those were our goals for the last 8 months. We will cover operational stabilization, how we did that, some of the things we did, strategic communication and partnership model, cybersecurity and risk management mitigation, financial stewardship, capital planning, enterprise systems and data strategy, and lastly, IT focus areas and roadmaps moving forward. So one of the first things we did when we came in, I don't know how many of you have ever heard of ITIL, which is a framework that is used for IT service management. One of the core things in there is having process and procedures. So we have a ticketing system, but we had to reestablish how that's being used. I know it seems simplistic, but we have to have some type of organization of how we're prioritizing, how we're looking at those issues daily. So we reestablished that process. And then also during that process, we also reestablished our help desk ticket system, ensuring that everyone is putting tickets in there. Some things require emails and some things don't. Emergencies don't happen every day, but we want to make sure we're ensuring that we are taking care of things in a timely manner. Also, structured life cycles, looking at our devices and seeing what is at end of life, ensuring that's taken out of our fleet, and how making a plan to ensure we're updating and moving forward. Also, the last thing is, I don't know how many of you know, we cover a lot of things and we are the data warehouse for the district. So we pull that data and triangulate that for our district leaders, teachers, and staff. This is a structure of our department right now. We currently have 16 people and roughly 7,500 users that we service and support throughout the district. These are, out of that, 6,200 roughly are students, 1,300 are staff members. And our staff consists of IT manager, CIO, and our other staffs, which is a network team, the DevOps team, and also our techs that handle our end users. So this is just a snapshot as of today. So since July 2025, our department has taken care of 6,236 tickets. This is rich data for our department. It also shows you the turnaround times we have. Some of that, when you see on the end, you see, I think, 5.1 days. That is because when the ticket is put in, that is the entire time it takes to close that ticket. That's the average. So we try to get that done in 48 hours, but that's the average time for all of those tickets. But that's what we've done thus far this year as far as ticket. Strategic communication and partnership model. I think it's very important because we have to support instructional technology, digital teaching and learning, student information systems, data collaboration and triangulation, and operations and academic integration. We have to have those conversations with those departments as it relates to these areas. And rather than being reactive, we want to be proactive. So as those conversations happen, it allows us to plan and support these systems better. We've done a pretty good job of doing it, I think. It's still a work in progress, but we want to keep that communication going. Cybersecurity areas of focus. Currently, we have considerations for identity and access controls, which is MFA. That's been rolled out before I got here, but we want to expand that. Enhancing network monitoring and content filtering, working on that. Revising district disaster recovery and business continuity planning. Strengthen data governance and privacy processes, expanded cybersecurity training and awareness, and formalizing software review and application governance processes. So all of those things are either in process, done, or we're working on this. I don't want to get into specifics about our cybersecurity because this is an open meeting. So if you need anything or want any feedback, I will be sure to get that to you. But you know, this is an open forum, so I don't want to get, but we're working in these areas. IT department planning for financial stewardship. For Cat 1 and Cat 2, as it relates to E-rate, this year we have been somewhat not going all out. One reason is we're monitoring and evaluating where we are. So based on evaluation, network evaluation, maximizing E-rate reimbursement opportunities, this year we want to see where we are so we can maximize those opportunities moving forward and prioritizing infrastructure and modernization investments. This ensures that we can be predictable with life cycles. and planning to address gaps in these and reduction of reactive and emergency expenditures. So that's where we are with the planning piece. And moving forward, let's see. Enterprise system and data strategy. A lot of our work is focused on data, so expanded use of data dashboards to support leadership in schools, improve reporting timelines and cross-system integrations, strengthening collaboration between IT schools and central office, and continue refinement of data governance practices. All of those things are being done in enterprise via our DevOps team right now. And here is a long list. I tried to divide these into 5 categories for you. Our network infrastructure, these are the things we are currently, incentives that we're currently working on, the priorities and upcoming incentives. And they all tie to all of the things I already spoke about, but infrastructure, cybersecurity management, PowerSchool and data system transformation, device lifecycle and capital planning, and also supporting what you just heard about our AI initiative in the district. We support that from a technical standpoint and also somewhat instructional as well as needed. So closing and recap, we're going to work on stabilized core operations, strengthening cybersecurity and risk posture, institute disciplined financial stewardship, elevated data and enterprise system strategy, and also shift from reactive support to strategic partnerships. Are there any questions right now? I'm sure we have some.
Any questions? None? Thank you. Sorry, we have one question.
Oh, yes, sure.
All right, thank you for that presentation.
You're welcome.
Just trying to find out any idea of the impact of AI financially?
Do you mean on the finance of our tech budget?
Yes.
I can get that to you. I don't have that.
We'll be able to get it, but right now, what Ms. Capiabianco mentioned earlier, as far as the grant that we received last year, that covered a lot of the implementation work. So the number was about $100,000. So right now, it's not whatever would be included in the regular budget would have been things that we were already planning for, but any of the larger type of things, we're able to use some of that money to help cover that.
Thank you very much for the presentation. And I actually do like the ticket times and all that, because it really goes to show you the guys behind the scenes that really don't ever get to come to these meetings and show you how quickly the things get turned over. Do we have enough behind the scenes people to get everything done?
I'm going to, you know the answer. I would say by industry standards, it's just an instructional technology side.
Okay,
on our infrastructure side, we are pretty good. But yeah, there may be some more positions, but I'm sure we do well with what we have.
No, it was basically the ratio of how many devices we have to how many students to how many actual behind the scenes technicians is what I was.
The ratio is 18 to 22. Currently, we have 16, so we're close.
Oh, perfect. That's all I was asking. Thank you.
But you don't go yet. Well, I guess if they're done, I was going to add one piece. The only other thing I was going to say, because we think about the overall technology part of it, and this was the other part that Ben was going to mention as far as the instructional technology piece. So that is something as we think about the future, how do we really get that? And from a data perspective, how are we handling all of that? Not just we can come and say, we're sharing the typical data points, but levels of efficiency. How are we knowing, like we just mentioned about the tickets, all those other things that are wrapped up in there. Good.
All right,
thank you very much. So I always add this in here. We're gonna go back to it because Dr. Torres is gonna come up. She's gonna be the item on the other part of the agenda. But I need to just touch on a couple things as reminders, because I don't think some of you know that I have a part-time seasonal job that goes from 10 o'clock at night to 5 a.m. in the morning, sometimes called meteorologist. So we're figuring out our last day of school. at this point. I can guarantee you that it was sunny today and there was no snow or ice. But it's one of those few jobs that, it's kind of thankless, but I'm never going to lose a job as a meteorologist, and whether we're right or wrong. But as we look at that last day of school, right now, as it stands, our last day of school is June 22nd. Friday, June 19th, we haven't had this, I'm going to call it a problem. We haven't had this problem in the past because we've never gone this long to get to June 19th as a recognized holiday. So we're doing some meetings. I'm going to be meeting with several of the other, our bargaining units to kind of see what's the thought process, because coming back on a Monday as the last day of school on June 22nd, we just need to be mindful of, what the impact of that will be. And we know families plan things, but I'm going to be very candid and honest. That's not what I'm thinking. We're not thinking about people who schedule vacations. It's more about, are students going to come to school that day? What's going to be the impact of instruction? So I'll be sharing with the board, probably in between the meetings, as far as what we're definitely going to end up doing for that either June 19th day, or if the consensus is to come back June 22nd. As I've said, for the however many years I've been an administrator, we all have to work 12 months. So it doesn't make that much of a difference to us when we think about kind of giving a smart answer about it, but really looking at what's the true academic impact that we want to have during that time. So, and just one other reminder, as I'm listening to the news and the radio about illness, the flu is still out there. People still need to remember to wash their hands, cover up, do all those things that we may have gotten away from. Because if we looked at the information prior to COVID, there were many very sick people from the flu, very serious, that I don't think we paid a lot of attention to in terms of the numbers. And as we dug into it because of COVID, then we realized how many people were severely impacted by the flu. So something we definitely have a little bit more opportunity to fight in terms of, seeing the doctor and taking care of those things. I just wanted to emphasize that, because although it's March and it will be 70 degrees tomorrow, the flu is still there. So we need to just make sure we're being careful. So thank you. I do want to again thank Ms. Hewins and her team for being here this evening, for hosting us, again to our families and our community partners as we continue to do this work together. So thank you.
Okay, next we have Elsie for our 2026-2027 Head Start selection criteria.
Good evening, everyone. I am here to seek your board approval for the 2027 Head Start selection criteria. The Head Start program annually establishes the selection criteria that weighs the prioritization of selection of participants based on the community needs identified in the community needs assessment as described in the performance standards. The selection criteria includes the following areas: public assistance, family income, disability, parental status, employment status, education status, and family status. The federal poverty guidelines are also noted on the document for your reference as well at the top of the page. The community needs assessment does not warrant any changes to the selection criteria at this time that was established for the 26-27 school year. One other thing that I will note is that one change that we did make, and it was in response to the kindergarten age for entry, is at Hockenham School, we began accepting students beginning at the age of 2.9 because of that kindergarten implementation. And so it has impacted enrollment at Hockenham School in a very positive way. So, many of our seats, if not all of our seats, have been full as a result of instituting that.
Any questions for Elsie? Not any? Good to go. Good. So do I have a motion to approve our do I have a motion to approve our Head Start agreement? All in favor? Awesome. Opposed? Ayes have it. For the minutes is the Head Start criteria. Thank you. Next, our healthy food certification, Tia.
Good evening, everyone. Today, I am here to discuss the approval of Connecticut Healthy Food Certification. The Connecticut State Department of Education enactment of Healthy Food Certification under Section 10215F of the Connecticut General Statute concerning healthy food and beverages required that each local Board of Education participating in the National School Lunch Program must take action annually to certify whether all food items sold to students separately from the reimbursable meals will or will not meet the Connecticut nutrition standards. The district has received about $81,000 in fiscal year 25, and this funding stream goes back into the food services for reinvestment of purchases, our capital expenditures, and initiative to improve the food service program.
Any questions? I'm always reminded, this is how I met Vanessa, because of this policy many years ago. Yeah, she organized a PTO parents because we limited junk food in our school. So no soda, no chips, nothing. It was only apples and oranges and fruit at our basketball games, our sporting events. And she came on down with a whole lot of parents. So with that being said, do you want to take this motion?
So, would you like to make a motion or? Oh, am I making a motion? Oh, okay. I move.
All in favor? All opposed? Ayes have it. And then our FY 26 exemption, beverages and school hours reference for full motion is the second motion to Vanessa coming down because they wanted to raise money for our PTO. So now we can. So with that being said, do you want to take this one too?
This is a good one.
They have a motion to exemption for food beverages served after school hours. All in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you, Tia.
Perfect, thank you.
And then Jim, come on down for our East Hartford High School Library Media Center.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm here to get your approval for the acceptance of a project that we completed last summer. It was, as you said, the rooftop heating, air conditioning units at the high school, which were completed as of November 13th. And so the attached documents represents a complete package that will be filed with the State Department of Administrative Services, Office of School Construction Grants, after all approvals are obtained and the town attorney signs the state's final grant application form, SCG 1049F. The state DAS will then schedule a final review and audit of the project. Upon completion, the 5% retainage of grant funds will be released. So the state's expecting to pay an estimated reimbursement amount of $180,860.13. And this motion was approved last week at our remote BOE Facilities Committee meeting on March 4th. And upon acceptance, we're presenting it to you this evening for your authorization to authorize the Director of Facilities to execute the contract on behalf of the Board of Education.
Hearing none, there a motion to approve bid 1885-2 East Hartford Middle School Media Center HVAC roof replacement state project 043003.
So, second.
All in favor? Ayes have it. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you very much.
Next, are there any questions or concerns by board members? Any topics for future agendas? All right. Thank you all for,
I got two of them. One of them I'd like to bring up for future topic agenda items is school safety for pick up and drop offs throughout all the schools. I know we do have a lot of stuff for bus transportation from DACO itself, but there's really no raw information on our Board of Ed policies for actual student drop off and pick up. Or walkers or anything like that. So I think coming up with a criteria and some type of, I don't know, it's policy or something to kind of develop our own internal, but we've had plenty of problems that, one of the schools that my children go to, we'd pick up and drop off. So I think maybe looking at it internally as we go forward with a lot of the facility improvements to our parking lots, there's ways to look at it to make it a lot safer for these kids to get dropped off, picked up, or for the walkers to get to school. So I'd like to know if we could look at that in the future.
So similarly, I'm going to piggyback on Mr. Torini because while in some instances it is human error and poor judgment, there are ways that we could impact the physical plant in our schools to be able to create safer spaces for them to get dropped off. And so in particular, with all of the snow that we've had this year, it only further exacerbated the challenges, not directly near the school, but even in the blocks that are approaching the schools. And there have just been too many near misses in terms of students potentially being hit by cars, things of that nature. So and we discovered that there's not really anything that speaks to that. Principals have sent countless notices. The parents do not heed them, and then there's no consequence for them not heeding them unless there's a time where we have a child or someone who's harmed. So.
Great. And Thomas, the Mayberry families and students made that amazing project back there for us. Can we have that transported to the 3rd floor at the Board of Ed offices with the rest of the other artwork we have up there? Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. With that said, the motion to adjourn. All in favor? All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. And take some pizza and cookies.